You are listening to INTERFORM Podcast with Ro on the radio. You're going to want to hear this.
Welcome to INTERFORM Podcast. This is the first recorded one. I'm Ro on the radio, of course, and I've got a special guest with me today. He's Richard Cotto. He is our Senior Director of Small Batch and Production. Richard, thank you so much for being here. Did I have the title right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I was looking down my phone like, oh, I want to make sure I get it correct. So I want people to know a little bit more about you. I mean, I know about you. I got to walk for Richard in Fashion Week.
How long ago was that?
When? That was like 3 years ago?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But he is a designer extraordinaire, teacher. Tell everybody about you.
Well, you're outselling me, but upselling me. Sorry. Thank you for having me. Like Rose said, I've known and worked with INTERFORM for what, 6 years, 7 years, from different capacities as a designer, as a mentor, as a teacher, and now I'm finally part of the team after 6 years of going back and forth. So that's good. But a little bit about me: I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. My first language is Spanish. I grew up in the arts. Went to a school that was predominantly art related. So one thing led to the other, and I just went to fashion because it naturally grew on me after working so many years with fabric. And here I am today, 15 years later, 20 years.
15?
Yes. I was doing the math earlier today, and I'm like, wait, what? It's been 15 years already since high school?
So he's a veteran.
Yeah.
A veteran in the fashion game. So we're here to talk about Emerge. Now, for those of you who don't know what Emerge is the state's first designer in residency program.
It's the first in the United States as well.
What? Shut the front door.
It is.
Look at us. So you are are you the director of Emerge? Because I know you teach the classes.
So
Emerge,
it's an interesting subject as to why it falls under the Make umbrella. So as part of Senior Director of Small Batch and Production for INTERFORM, Emerge falls under my dominion because of the end goal, which is ultimately manufacturing for all these local and regional designers. How do we achieve this? So after a long 4-month-long program of seminars taught not only by myself but by industry experts that come from, we have people this year that are coming from New York, there's people that are coming from Dallas, there's people that are teaching from Europe.
Wow.
So the first time ever, very excited about that. We have an alliance with a very prominent Italian school that is going to teach 2 seminars as well. So after 4 months of taking designers, because ultimately that's what they are, that's their end goal, across different levels of their career and taking them to the next level, we're able to hopefully change the manufacturing, industry in Northwest Arkansas, because we're hopefully generating an income for these designers that otherwise did not see manufacturing and retail and mass production in the region as viable as if you were starting it on your own.
So if I'm a designer, and walk us through kind of the experience for Emerge. Like, I'm a designer, I'm in the first Emerge class. Like, what can I expect to learn?
Sure. So we just celebrated our second session for Emerge 4 and Emerge 5, so that we're calling it the 2022 session. It's a year program, like I mentioned, but let's say you're a designer that wants to be interested in Emerge. You would go through a series of application, process, interview, you land in the program.
Oh, how do I get picked? I have to send in do I have to send in sketches and like a full collection? Like, what do I do?
So since we cater to different people at different levels in their career, there's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
We have this season, we're very proud to say that we have people not only veterans in the industry in Northwest Arkansas that have been designing for 10 plus years, but we have people that have come from our sewn trades class that didn't even know where to turn on a sewing machine. So we're teaching them how to learn the trade and how to excel from the design perspective as well. So since we have different levels in the industry, we don't judge design, or we don't evaluate design. We don't evaluate your career per se. We evaluate, or what we're looking for is, what is your end goal? What are you trying to achieve, and how can we help you? And if we can do it either through design, either through exposure, either through marketing, either through that little piece of technique that you missed, or you were never taught, or you were never exposed to. If we can do that for you, then you're a candidate to be a part of Emerge.
So if I only know how to use a hot glue gun, could I be?
We'll talk about it later.
No hot glue guns allowed. Okay, so once Emerge is complete, what can the designers who attended expect going forward? Like, I've completed Emerge, I'm done, I've learned pattern making, I've learned maybe the brand side of Emerge. Like, what will I have learned when I have come out of Emerge?
So, before we go into what's the next step, I want to take you a little bit more through the program, through this season's program, which we're hoping it sticks, and we're hoping that it is truly the secret formula that we were looking for. This season, we've structured the program as if it were a technical school. Of course, you're not going to get a degree. That is not our end goal. Nonetheless, each seminar, each course that you as a participant would go through will set the foundation for the next one, so that when you go week after week, you're able to apply what you learned on the previous seminar, and hopefully at the end you end up with a comprehensive look of the apparel industry. And manufacturing. Don't forget that part. So after 12 sessions that you've started with the basics, brand identity and design, you end up at the end with marketing, visuals, and how to sell yourself as a designer and your brand as a whole, and all that marketing apparatus after it. Our end goal is that you as a participant could take that and run free. And you're not only self-sufficient, but you're able to close that gap of, okay, so I'm able to make a career out of this.
Right.
Because a lot of our participants, education is not for everybody. College is not for everybody. I myself went through 3 degrees, but not everybody goes through that. So the fact that we can give the tools to people that might not have the money, might not have the time, school might not be for them, and make a career out of that, and basically be self-sufficient in the arts, something that they love to do, that is our end goal. In doing so, if we're able to pop up different ateliers around the region, if we're able to extend manufacturing jobs to people that will help us support finishing that cycle, if we're able to make the next Michael Kors, to give you an example, then so be it. It's going to be something beautiful. But our end goal is focused around the participant itself.
What would you say your favorite course is to teach in Emerge? Because we talked about making like mood boards and patterns. I thought that would be pretty fun. But is there something that you just love to teach? You could talk about it like all day.
Anything that is technical. Anything.
Really?
So I went to school for design. After, like I said, 3 degrees. Not that design is not for me, but see it as I've always worked with my hands, and the ability to take your concept and bring it to life in infusing that passion into newer generations that, to be quite honest, they've overlooked that side of the apparel industry. And I would dare to say that 75% of the apparel industry, the manufacturing industry, the fashion industry, is the technical side that no longer exists. Manufacturing, technical design, pattern making, grading, sewing. People don't even know how to put put a button on a shirt anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, God.
I mean, I could stick it on. That's what I'm saying with the glue gun. Listen, we get stuff done. Don't look at me like that with that disapproving eye. What do you feel, why do you feel Emerge is important to the creative community, to the design community, to the fashion community? I mean, me personally, nothing like this has existed before we came up with it. So, I mean, I feel like there's a niche for it, right?
There is. There definitely is not only a niche, but a need. I was lucky. I wouldn't be where I am today if it would not have been for an internship program. And that's what I keep telling myself every day when we were building this program. It's, okay, so how can we build a platform that allows for people to not only learn firsthand from industry experts, but are able to apply it to themselves. And that's what an internship program is. And if in doing so, we're able to pay you to be a part of it. Very important.
Exactly.
Not a lot of internships get paid.
That is key.
And have fun while doing it. It's like, why not?
Exactly.
But more so, like, the whole conversation that you and I have had for the past, 15 minutes is around the importance of Emerge in some form of fashion, whether it is creating jobs, whether it is validating someone's voice as a designer, whether it is revitalizing the apparel industry in Northwest Arkansas or the region, central United States. There's so many benefits to it that you can't just pick one.
And you bring up a good point about internships too, because not a lot of people can afford to work for free.
Correct.
Like an internship. So I think that is extremely important, and hopefully other people are turning to that as well. But I don't know if they are or not.
What do you mean?
I mean, I know there's still a lot of places who are expecting you to intern for free. And I think it's difficult for a lot of students. I know it was difficult for me. It was psychology at that point. But I can't afford to work for free. You know what I mean?
So what makes us unique?
I think what makes us unique is the fact that we are intentional about diversity. Like, if you look at the Emerge students, I mean, it's definitely culturally diverse. Wouldn't you say?
There's your answer.
Boom.
I've worked for corporate America at some point in my life, and the participants were able to, the internship participants were able to get paid.
Exactly.
Now here's the difference. There's a certain stereotype that internship was focused to. Our focus is to anyone that just wants to be better, that just wants to improve professionally.
Just sharpen your skills.
Yeah, that's it.
So that, and like certain internships are like, if you want to work here, but like our internship technically is like, if you just want to do better, like there's no agenda on our part. Like you don't have to work for us if you sign up for, you know, the internship like a lot of companies do. It's just to make you better.
To improve your professional development.
Now, what would you say to people who may not know anything about Emerge, or like what would you say that if people know about Emerge, they might have confused?
Well,
what you want them to know.
Well, the funny thing is we're using right now the word internship. And when I was going through the selection process of choosing who was going to be a part of this season, that term came up because it is the most relatable thing that people nowadays could possibly think about. However, the program itself is an apprenticeship.
Not an internship.
Not an internship. And the difference is that in apprenticeship, you're learning and applying at the same time. On an internship, you're just applying what you learned in school. It's a fine line. So, for instance, the apprenticeship, the way that we've built it, you're not just another student in a classroom. Everything that is being mentored or everything that has been lectured or given to you is tailored to you, is uniquely personalized to your needs as an artist, as a designer, as a professional. And while you're doing that, there's a certain component of it that allows you to apply it then and there.
That's the difference.
No, it's it's something.
It's okay. So basically, I can't come through Emerge with my hot glue gun skills. Okay, it's fine. Whatever.
Would you drop the hot glue? You know what? I'm gonna call you in Christmas.
Call me hot glue.
I'm gonna call you at Christmas, and we're gonna do some ornaments for Christmas trees. And
I can definitely do that.
Hot glue
Now, if
them.
you ask me to sew on a button, I mean, you can teach me. But, we'll talk about that later. Well,
you're a fabulous model, so it's fine.
Thank you so much for being here, Richard. That is INTERFORM Podcast. I'm Ro on the radio. This is the designer extraordinaire, Richard Cotto. You can definitely check out more information about INTERFORM and the Emerge program by going to interform.art. So make sure you check out our website. You can follow us on social media. Facebook is INTERFORM Fashion, and Instagram is interform.art. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
You are listening to INTERFORM Podcast with Ro on the radio. You're going to want to hear this.